Oh, glory to Jesus Christ, and welcome to St. Cyril Methodius Orthodox Church. I'm Father Gregory, the pastor, and good to be with you again this afternoon. It is just about 5 o'clock here in Mad City, and I'll have people be coming for confession in just a little bit, but I thought I'd talk just for a few minutes before those folks showed up, and I had to put my mask on. Well, I came in a little early before confessions because, well, there's more stuff to clean up. We've been back in the church for about 2 weeks now since the flood. And I think you may know, if you follow, we've been gone for about 2 months, and we got back in about 2 weeks ago. And there's still stuff to clean up, and there's still stuff on order and that's coming in. And there always just seems to be more stuff. I know probably after Pascha, I'm going to have to come in my old blue jeans and my ratty sweatshirt and crawl around in the furnace room to find stuff that workmen left there that needs to be hauled out and cleaned and stored properly. And it's all kind of a bit of a pain, but it does in fact have to be done. It also makes a really nice metaphor or simile. I'm never sure what these things, what's what these things, for the spiritual. It's an image of the spiritual life. In the spiritual life, there's always more to do, and the temptation is to say, well, I've gone this far, and I'm not going to go any further. The problem is kind of like with cleaning. If we stop progressing in the spiritual life, we might be at a level place for a while, might hit a plateau, but then, very quickly we start to fall backwards. Kind of like if you stop cleaning your house, no matter how neat you are, eventually it's just going to get more and more dirty. So these things have to just be continual. And that's really what it is in the spiritual life, is that I always need to be striving to make a little more progress. Now that can very quickly become sort of a neurotic striving where I feel this compulsion to do more, and that's not helpful. That's its own kind of a trap. Rather, what we're aiming for is sort of an appreciation that, having now fallen in love with God, I want to come to know Him better. I think that's what makes progress in the spiritual life so difficult for us, is that we lose sight of the fact that what is our motivation is love. That not only God's love for us, but our love for Him. That doesn't mean, though, that sometimes we don't need to take a break in the spiritual life. Sometimes spiritual reading, formal prayers, services, they do get tired. They get tiring, and I need to take a break. I tell my own parishioners that we can't really expect more from ourselves than Jesus, that we saw in Jesus. And Jesus took time away with His disciples, certainly to pray, but also simply to enjoy their time together. So we need to do that. We need to do some things in our spiritual life that give us a chance to rest and to restore. One of the best pieces of advice I got was from one of my professors in graduate school, Dr. Susan Muto. And Dr. Muto was an expert in spiritual reading, a Roman Catholic laywoman. And she said, sometimes we need to put aside the writings of the saints or the fathers, the spiritual classics, and maybe just read a good novel, or to watch a play or a movie or even a television show. Not out of any disrespect for spiritual reading, spiritual works, but just to sort of reconnect us with what it means to be human, and just to understand the goodness of creation, but also, maybe the ways in which creation and the human person can go wrong. So there's a place really in their spiritual life for that kind of so-called secular entertainment, whether novels or films or television, because like all art, they if it's good art, it connects us, helps us to understand something which is true about our circumstances. So as we're coming now to the middle of Great and Holy Week on our journey to Great and Holy Pascha, maybe ask yourself, do you need a break? Do you need a rest? Not that you should stop moving towards Pascha, but are you moving towards Pascha in a wise and prudent fashion? Or are you being moved by sort of a compulsion? You got to double down, work harder, go faster, and just sort of exhausting yourself. We have to take some time to rest and to recollect. because really the work of God is work, and it requires energy, and so it requires some restoration. That's the other side of the spiritual life. Yes, we have to keep making progress, and if we don't, we'll fall back. Just like if we don't keep our house clean, and eventually it'll get dirty. But if we don't take time to rest, then our work in the spiritual life will also begin to suffer. Trying to find that balance between work and rest, that's the project of a lifetime, and probably not something that you want to start trying to figure out, a few days before Pascha. But maybe keep it in mind. Maybe keep it in mind that we need to work, we need to rest. Remember, on the seventh day, God rested, and he just rejoiced in his creation. So when was the last time you rejoiced in the creation? When was the last time that you just enjoyed the world that God has created? If it's been a long time, then my guess is your spiritual life is suffering as well. Well, I'm going to stop here for now because folks will come for confession in just a few minutes. We have the last of our bridegroom matin service this evening at 6. Hopefully you'll be able to join us either here in person at St. Cyril Methodius in Madison, Wisconsin, or online. If you are watching online, give us a thumbs up, a heart, make a comment. Got some comments yesterday. It was really good to hear those. So hopefully get some more comments going forward. So till then, God bless everyone, and get some rest. Okay, bye-bye.